January 2022. This is for the A term course. Just going to go over quickly how grades and plagiarism are going to work for this semester. So I have the syllabus pulled up, and the only way y'all are really different here is remember you're in a 310 co-rec. You have to take these together. If you drop this course, HUMA 1301, or your INRW course, then you would get dropped from any other courses that you had for reading writing. So just check with your success code. Sometimes it's in your best interest. Usually it's not. You got to say this is what's meeting your TSI, because you're not TSI completes. That's why you're taking these two courses. All right. So do check on that. I covered all this other stuff somewhere. I'm just showing you these are the chapters we are covering, but we're going to go through the exact grade breakdown now. All this pretty much is the modules, how the modules progress. So go through modules. Don't just set the notifications and then do them as they come up on your phone, because there's a lot of help material here, especially early on. You can continue to go back through if you still have problems after the first few weeks. Okay, so we are reading questions at 35% of your grade, responses at 35%, audio uploads at 20%, although there's a few different things coming up with this, and your INRW grade 10%. If you had a buddy in the course previously, this is a little bit different than we did it before, and I'm not breaking it down by learning outcomes anymore. We're just grouping these reading questions together. So this is what this means. Let me show you what I see in Canvas. So this is how I set the grade. So 35%, and these assignments that aren't like we're not currently doing these, the 14 reading questions and the 19 reading questions. But if something changes, if something doesn't work out right with the schedule, it may switch it up. All your responses are here. I included your introductory response here. I've included your attendance, your roll call here. This is meant to help you guys. Remember, it's just when you upload your reading questions, regardless of how great they are or not, I'm just going to count you present for that segment. And the audio updates, you will see I've switched this up a little bit to where you're doing just a little bit of research and watching a film on demand before you do your first audio, but these are just at a point. Okay, so your actual audio upload's at 4 points. It's a point just to find something. It's just a point for your introductory response, and I have it at 4 points for your roll call. So the vast majority is reading questions, responses, 20% here, and then I'm just going to plug this in as I get it. Right, so and if you haven't seen this already in your other courses, if you, per the previous screencast about setting your notifications, if you will just set your notifications or get that Canvas app on your phone, then you can plug in, you can play around with your grades and say, well, what if I get, if I ace out here, if I get all 4s for the remaining assignments, what will my average be? What will my grade be? It should tell you. And then, unless something has changed with that app, which I have not heard about. Okay, so that's the grades, right? So these are going to update every once in a while. These will update whenever they are graded. All right, because I got to go into your 0310 and grab whatever your grade percentage is at the time. So I don't know, every few weeks or something like that. If for grades, if you have a problem, let me know beforehand. We can usually kind of work something out, but not afterwards. You have to start taking the penalty for this just baked into the course, and then pretty soon I'll make them not available so that you can't see it. After, it's not really worth your while anymore usually because of the penalty, because of the percentage. So there's a, if you are late, right there is a percentage that you're missing for the course, 5% a day. Okay, so what I will do, you can't really see it here on grades. I'll just enter a 0 for your grade. You could still upload it if you have the option to upload it, but then you're going to have to take the penalty. I do this because when grades are exported to our main software, the school, Grayson College's main software, at the end of the day, anything that's not figured, that's not filled in, it's going to figure it as a 0. So it sounds weird because it looks like I'm trying to beat you up or something like that, but that's not the intention. It's just like you really do not want a surprise later on if that grade's going to get figured as a 0. And let's say you were working on it, like you let me know you were going to turn it in a little bit late. I say, hey, that's okay, do that, where it's going to be, you're going to take the percentage, but it's worth it. I go ahead and fill in a 0, but then you forget to do it. Okay, so what if you told me that and I said, well, all right, I'm going to pass, I'm going to push it, I'm not going to give you a grade for that, so I'm not going to put the 0 there, but then we both forget about it. And then your average that you guys go to the registrar is actually lower than what your Canvas grade says, which is a weird kind of quirk in my opinion, but that's just the way it works. So that's why. Well, we'll try to, I don't know, recall this at times with you, I guess, as the semester goes on. Okay, the other thing, do not plagiarize. Been a bunch of people plagiarizing. Here's all the academic integrity stuff. Make sure you read through all of this. The examples. Don't use a buddies from if you have one in circulation in the dorm on an old laptop or old USB. Definitely do not do this. It's incredibly cheesy if you have an old one that I don't know. First of all, a lot of the assignments change, but if one of them didn't, and you go to like one of these paraphrasing, these little, you spit it in and it spits out slightly different wording. Those come up, right? That just looks bad. That's gonna get this is what's gonna happen. So you're always better off just turning in something that you consider, well, this is like a half job, right? This is not really all that good. Well, at least you're getting points. Right? And all the points are adding up for you. So after the first time, right now, and I'm probably not talking about like just an erroneous citation here, so don't get too gun shy about that unless it's way off and you're just citing like the whole thing is copied from the book. Usually this is something like copied from the internet, or there is a previous version, right, on a common file, such as we'll run around dorms and stuff like that. Those are all in the system. You guys, please do not do that. These really aren't that hard, and I'm, especially early on, I'm trying to give you some credit to get through the assignment. I'm not trying to beat you up too much. All right, so after this first one, though, you're going to have to do a plagiarism module through the Writing Center. Yeah, the course stops for you at that point. You need to go do the plagiarism module, and then you will resume course activity. So if you don't do this in a timely manner, you're going to fail the course because you're going to get too far behind, right? So you need to stop all the other stuff that you're doing, go knock out this plagiarism module as fast as you can. Do it legitimately. You physically go there, by the way, if you want to do it instead of just getting it assigned through the internet, and get the Writing Center people to, help set you up, talk with you more about plagiarism and all of that. But after 3 instances of plagiarism, right? Well, that's just silly, right? Especially if we're talking like the 3. Just I found something on the internet, slap it in the response. Here you go, Davis. This is that you're going to fail the course, right? Let's just go ahead and cut it to the chase. These things never turn out well. It just keeps like that more or less after a couple of repeats. So this is your official warning. So just don't do that. All right. And like I said, if you have trouble, I spaced out. I gave you more time, which is one of the reasons why I switched it up. You have more time for these assignments. So you got to remember, you are supposed to be, even when something's not coming due, you need to be working on it, is the idea. That is part of college, right? You got a plan. All right. That's the #1 distinction, by the way. People who get through college, it's not intelligence. People, your professors, me, other professors, all that. We're not statistically, more intelligent. It's just we tend to plan better than most other groups. So likewise, that's something you all need to work out at this early stage in your collegiate career. Is just mark it in your schedule. Put it in your iPhone if you need to. You need to read chapter whatever. We're chapter 1, chapter 3. Little bit every day, like I talk about in the previous screencast. If you get nothing else out of college, my goodness gracious, get that. Little bit every day is a whole lot better than all at once, if possible. All righty, I think that's it for this one.